The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is celebrating their 25th anniversary, and they have some special articles to mark the occasion. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming news, guides, walkthroughs, interviews, and reviews. And don't forget to check out their Shack News Reader, which allows you to create a personalized feed of all your favorite YouTube channels, websites, and subreddits. And all of this pairs perfectly with their Shack News Cortex, where you can post your own articles and get involved in the gaming community right on their site. From video game tournaments to Twitch streams, they do it all at Shack News. And speaking of Twitch streams, make sure to subscribe to their channel on Twitch to see the newest games as well as some great throwbacks. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @ShackNews and at ShackNews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. Away. Back to goal.
Reflog. Insert golfer backward.
The Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2021, 10 days away from the NFL Draft here in Cleveland, Ohio. Turn that down. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. Reflog himself, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Dave. 10 days. I can't believe it's 10 days away now to the draft.
Isn't that weird? And it's here. That isn't really sank in either.
Fantastic. I can't wait. This is going to be great.
Another guy who's a little excited for the NFL draft here in Cleveland, Mr. Nick Padone. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. This time tomorrow I will be at full vax, guys.
Wow, look at you. Right in time for the draft, right?
Look at that. Just in time.
Beautiful. How you guys doing out there? Leave a comment. You saw us putting the comments out there. We've got Mike McFadden joining us, just popped his comment out there. Talk a little fishing, talk a little gaming, a little Browns. But first, we'll kick it off with Power Rank Monday tonight. We're going to go top 3 most dominant athletes we've ever seen. Thank you, Shane Bieber, for the thought on doing that. This guy is insane.
There's nothing that quite cleanses the soul like a Shane Bieber start after that bad taste in our mouth after Saturday, huh? I mean, wow. That guy's just so dominant out there, just pitching strikes. It's just so much fun to watch right now.
And right into an Emmanuel Clase close. If Bieber could go 8, Clase could go 9. We'll get into it, but that's a winning formula right there. As I said, we're going to welcome in Mike McFadden, talk some fishing, talk some gaming, talk some Browns. After that, we will get into Cleveland sports headlines brought to you by TSE Cleveland, giving away a J.C. Treader, the Presidente jersey, signed Treader jersey tonight. One of you guys is going to win that if you retweeted and followed the show handle and TSE Cleveland. Then we're going to get into, it says time permitting, but we're definitely doing it. It's Stump the Flog. It's making a comeback.
Bring it back.
Bringing it back.
That's trouble. It's trouble.
I think we got some baseball cards as well.
Of course we do, Dave. After last week's barn burner, I cannot wait to see what these 3 packs are going to unveil today.
That was brutal. And then we will wrap up with the best and worst tweets of the week. But let's kick it off.
There were some doozies.
There were some interesting ones out there.
There were some interesting ones.
With Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, this week's Power Rank Monday brought to you by the Big Play Store. 15% off. Use promo code REFLOG. Cleveland T-shirts. Get ready for the draft. I know Cody is running some specials out there. $20 shirts for the NFL draft. Go check it out on 15% off. All right, so Shane Bieber's run of dominance continued yesterday. First pitcher, 10-plus strikeouts in his first 4 starts of a season since 1893. That is wild. He also tied Nolan Ryan for the most strikeouts through 4 games, so you know he's in pretty good company. So we are going to power rank.
Badass right there, Nolan Ryan.
One of my favorite pitchers of all time.
Yeah.
We're going to power rank the top 3 most dominant athletes we've ever seen, whether it's in person, in Cleveland, in real life, or on TV, whatever. I'm going to go number 3. And leave your guys in the comments, and we'll pop them on the screen as well. I'm going number 3. I'm going Joe Thomas. We didn't have many Browns players to put on this list through the years. Honorable mention Nick Chubb, too early in the career, but he almost made the list. But Joe Thomas, there wasn't much fun things going on with our Browns, so he makes the list. One of the greatest tackles of all time. My number 2. Chris, I know you're with me here on this one. Goldberg.
Goldberg. Very nice. Right in my wheelhouse.
That's right. The most dominant wrestler of all time. No one could beat him. It took a stun gun, a taser to beat him. Goldberg is my number 2. And it's fake. My number 1 was going to go LeBron, but I figured you guys would put that on your list. So I'm going my number 1, Mike Tyson.
Oh, edging out Jake Paul.
We have a Jake Paul comment.
Where? What? Oh, yeah. What do we got here? Jake Paul, dominant, asks Snoop Dogg in his $10 million one, or $2 million one. That was wild.
Snoop won?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was insane. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. That was me and Nick both watched it. Chris, I'm not sure if you watched it, but hopefully
I didn't
you
feel like
didn't.
wasting my money on Saturday night like you guys.
Yeah. But Mike Tyson, fastest, strongest, badass boxer of all time. Not even close.
He was unbelievable.
He was so quick.
He
would just walk towards you like this. He was, 6 inches shorter than all these heavyweights and just hit the uppercut and knock you the F out.
And how surreal was it to live through when he got that tattoo on his face and just the weirdness all around that. I'll never forget that, because going into that fight, he puts the tattoo on his face and you're like, what are you doing?
It's not a great idea.
Not a great idea. And it was just kind of surreal. That was kind of the beginning of athletes learning. You're learning more and more about athletes and their personal lives and their weird things. And
oh yeah, I mean, do you remember when he was crying in the ring and he stopped? He
talked about eating people's children and
I'll eat your children.
Good times, man. That was good times.
Yeah, but he is number 1, most dominant of all time.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you got? Top 3.
My number 3. Reluctantly, because I'm not a huge fan of his, but Tiger Woods. I got to go with Tiger Woods. What he did, having the Tiger Slam, which for those of you who don't know, that's winning all 4 majors. And in this case, it isn't the calendar year. So it's not the Grand Slam of golf, but it's the Tiger Slam, because he did win 4 consecutive that culminated with a 2001 Masters. And no one else has done it. No one else has really come close other than Spieth. So that's just pure domination. I hadn't really seen that. I didn't see a whole lot of the Jack Nicklaus years. I was 7 years old in '86 when he won the Masters. So I wasn't privy to that time. I watched Greg Norman when he was really making a run. And of course, Nick Faldo destroyed him back in '96 at the Masters. So that was the end of that. But in terms of golf, I haven't seen anything even close to Tiger Woods, even though he stiffed me at that one Memorial when I was 16 years old. But
right. They were replaying the putt at the Masters, the putt. And yes. I will never turn away from the TV when that is going in.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's had so many great moments like that, especially at the Masters.
Yeah.
It's just, That's my number 3. My number 2.
Talk about inside of an athlete's life. That's another one.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, and this one too, Michael Jordan. Everybody watched The Last Dance last year, I think. You guys both watched it, right?
Seems like that was a decade ago.
It does. Well, that was the only sports, quote unquote sports we had last year at this time.
I'm pretty sure that came out. It started 1 year ago today, Chris. I'm pretty sure.
Wow, look at that. And I was so pumped up for that. I really was, because it was like there was nothing to tweet about, nothing to talk about in the sports world. And finally I had something with this, and it was fantastically done, but it just shows.
I hated it.
Did you hate it?
You hated it?
I hated
That's
it.
like
It
a
was
Why?
no.
Because like I was
It was a
expecting.
period piece.
Yeah, but I was expecting to like learn something, to take those stories further. It was all stuff that was there before, and it was all very Michael Jordan controlled. Like, yes, he had a crippling gambling problem, but it was because he was such a fierce competitor. He couldn't stand to lose. Like, everything took that angle, and it was so nauseous.
That's true. That is
And
very
Nick,
true.
that's completely fair. Everything you said there is 100% fair. But I liked it as like a period piece because you had the music from that time,
Yeah.
Yep.
you had the clothes, you had the Jordan swagger that a lot of people, and even I've forgotten, what it meant to be Michael Jordan back there in his heyday. And that was just fun to see. Even though I'm a Cavs fan, I had to watch the damn shot again. It was kind of fun to kind of relive some of those times and kind of some of the fun, even though we were unfortunately on the other side of it. Damn it. They wouldn't have switched with Craig Elo, but that's another story. That switched. Lenny Wilkins, man, what were you thinking? Come on.
Right. We got to have Mark Price back on.
What's that?
We got to have Mark Price back on.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. He's still following me. I think we had a bet at some
Me
point.
too. Yeah, I thought we'd both be unfollowed by now for sure.
He's a man of his word. That's
He
Mark
is.
Price for you.
That's right.
My number 1, LeBron James. LeBron James, the king, bringing a championship to Cleveland 2016. Also had some others with the Heat, and of course the one with the Lakers. But I'm really recognizing him for bringing the 2007 Cavs to the finals. Right now, I'm going to read down that roster, Dave. Shannon Brown, Daniel Boobie Gibson, Drew Gooden, Larry Hughes, Big Z, LeBron, Damon Jones, Dwayne Jones, Donyell Marshall, Ira Newble, Sasha Pavlovic, Scott Pollard, Eric Snow, Varejao, and David Wesley. That is the roster that he took to the NBA Finals in 2007. And that, aside from all of the championships, shows how dominant he is to bring that ragtag group to the NBA Finals.
in his early 20s.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you watch that footage back. He looks so young.
And so small. I mean, he's bulked up over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Relatively small. I mean, LeBron James was, even in high school, he looked like a real man,
Yeah.
but certainly more than I do, even now in my 40s. But yeah, he was relatively small, and just to put them literally on his shoulders and be able to get us to the finals, that's pretty amazing now as I look back on it.
Yeah, it's hard not to include LeBron James on your list. Let's check in with.
No, you did that.
Yeah,
You did
right.
exactly that.
I knew someone was putting
You
it
put
on.
Goldberg in there instead.
Goldberg. Let's check in with the comments. We've got Baby Bush puts Miles Garrett, Phelps, and LeBron. That is a good list
Phelps
right
is a
there.
good one.
Phelps
Phelps
is a great
is a
one.
very good one.
Homebrew Kev, Josh Cribbs, Bo Jackson, and LeBron James.
Bo Jackson's
Bo
pretty good.
Jackson is a really good one.
I like the Bo Jackson.
Yep. Yeah, that's some good ones. All right, Nick, what do you got? Top 3 most dominant athletes you've seen.
All right, definitely. I'm going to go with my number 3, shake the list up a little bit with some women's sports. Serena Williams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, really good one. I mean, throughout my life, like as far as tennis is concerned, she's been the mainstay. Like, the men come and go and fluctuate, Federer, Nadal, like who's at the top of their game right now. But Serena has been it and had been it for, my whole life growing up. So Serena's my number 3. Number 2.
That's a good one.
I'm going to Tom Brady. I'm surprised you guys left him off.
Now get out of here. No one wants
He
to
gets
talk
love
about
from
Tom
everywhere
Brady.
else. He doesn't need love from us.
All the Super Bowls, literally like the last.
Just
I'm
move
familiar
on.
with
No
his
one
work.
cares.
I'm like,
Familiar with him.
I was just, yeah, his body of work. Yeah, I was just surprised you guys left him off. I had to put him on there. And then my number one.
I don't like
They
Boston.
didn't have room with Goldberg.
That's right.
All right, I'm going with LeBron too. But my reasoning was a
Yeah.
little bit different than Chris's. And it was just the anniversary the other day, like the regular season anniversary of the Warriors going 73-9. Like we don't think about that enough. Like at the time,
Unanimous league MVP was on that team.
at the time when that season was happening, it was like it's gonna be the Warriors who are the champions. Who's coming in second? Like they were 73-9. People were debating on the radio, on TV, were they better than the 90s Bulls? Like that went on for months. And then for them to finally have that record, then Steph is the unanimous MVP. Then LeBron, then we're down 3-1, and LeBron comes back and wins it. Number one, easy.
Yeah.
So if this was like 10 years ago or so, would somebody have had Lance Armstrong on their list? That was the interesting.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's just wild because he was seen as one of the most dominant, athletes in their sports of any of them.
Talk about a
And now,
wild story.
That was a complete afterthought.
Yeah, that. I mean, we talked about Tyson and who else was on your list, Chris? Jordan and Tiger. I mean, God, Lance Armstrong. That's an interesting story. If you've ever seen, I don't know if it was a documentary, but they just the news articles about Lance Armstrong throughout the years are just insane. The amount of lying that he went
He's
to
a
cover
bad
that
dude.
up.
He's just
Yeah.
straight up a bad dude. Like,
Yep.
he really is. He's a liar. He's a bad dude. But, I guess he did well on a bike. Congratulations. He took down a lot of people in his wake.
Yes, he did. All right, we're gonna move on. Thanks for the comments, everyone. Power Rank Monday. Get those in each week, and we'll shout you out on the show. But let's move on to our featured interview of the night. We're bringing in Mike McFadden to talk about a whole lot of different things here, and he said he's got one that we didn't list on Power Rank Monday. So we will be right back in about 30 seconds. Got a sideways Mike McFadden. Hit the rotate button again, sir.
It was coming sideways.
Lord, coming in hot.
Coming in
All
hot.
right.
Here we go. Here we go.
Let's try it this way. Let's turn it this way and then this way. Does that work?
Nailed it. Nailed it.
No
Oh,
buttons needed. Just rotate it back and forth and just pray it works. All
that
right.
is right. He's the gaming director with Black Tip H, formerly of EA Madden, community manager over there. My buddy, my pal, Mr. Mike McFadden. How are you, brother?
Absolutely great to see you guys. You forgot one. Formerly of Big Play Gaming as well.
That's
I was
right.
wondering if you were going to pull that one out or not, but let's remind the people where they've seen the beard before at least.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, I loved those streams. That was a good time, my man.
I really appreciated that opportunity. We got some awesome stuff going on down here in Florida though right now, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on to talk Browns. Like I said on Twitter, love, life. Who knows? Who knows what you guys got in store for me?
We have no idea where this could go. It could get weird. We'll see. But you did say, Power Rank Monday, you had someone we didn't mention, most dominant athletes of all time. Who made your list?
Know me as a gamer, so I'm kind of coming from the mind of a gamer. First of all, a lot of great athletes you guys talked about right there with a lot of accolades, right? A lot of championships, a lot of rings, a lot of stats. the word that stuck out to me was dominance. Okay.
Mhm.
When we're just talking about pure dominance, I think right away about Bo Jackson. There was nobody on the field like Bo Jackson. He was like a man amongst boys out there.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yet another
Gaming.
life that Cincinnati ruined, just like Chili.
Yeah. They're on the record for ruining a lot of things, including that, you know. So Joe Burrow, yet to be seen. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
That scar was nasty. That scar was nasty.
And two, I mean, we're talking Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson. Okay, the most dominant
unstoppable.
video game character, athlete ever in any video game.
Who was better? Was Bo Jackson was the best, but Barry Sanders, he was up there, right?
Is there, but just historically from the Tecmo Bowl back in the day on the Nintendo, he was not, you couldn't stop the guy. Then NCAA, we'll come back talk about NCAA video game here in a second. NCAA back in, I think it was 13 or the last NCAA, they put out a Bo Jackson equally as unstoppable out there. You know, he didn't get a chance to really get his footing in the NFL, or in the MLB. But you know, you saw glimpses, you saw these flashes of what he could have been, and it's really taken kind of his story to that legendary status, right? Like what could have been status. But anytime you saw him on the field, he popped off the screen at you, and he was by far the best guy on the field. So I really wish I would have seen him. Wish he could have continued on.
Best thing about
that's a good one.
Tecmo Bowl, the one read, where I'd always go with the Browns, Bernie Kosar. I'd start backing up, and you'd see that one read. It's either the guy on the outside's got Webster Slaughter covered, or he doesn't. And if he does, you're going down. If he doesn't, keep running backwards, and they just toss it 100 yards right to Webster in the end zone. Great every time.
He was covered, just dump it down to the Wizard of Oz every time. You're getting yards.
But wouldn't it get
first down
picked?
every time.
It would get picked, though.
It depended on the.
I dump it down.
I feel you on that. That game is like an air it out kind of game, but those were the two choices you had, was Ozzie and Webster in that game right there. Kevin Mack in the backfield, but it wasn't really a running game besides unless you had Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, right.
Exactly, guys. Exactly. Another one, if we're talking gaming and dominance, you got to bring Mike Vick into the conversation because
that's a good one.
You know, Mike Vick in Madden, absolutely unstoppable cover guy in 2004. Changed video game, the human glitch, the human highlight reel, dominance, pure dominance.
Edged out by Peyton Hillis.
Yo, Mike doesn't live that down. I've met Mike a few times. I've talked to Mike a few times. That's still living rent free in his mind, by the way. I want to tell you that.
Cleveland owned him. Cleveland owned him hard on ESPN that night. That was fantastic.
Basically got all of Cleveland together to vote. So he was going up against the entire city of Cleveland. And let me tell you, you don't want to do that when it comes to citizens, okay?
That's like Reflog in a poll. Like, it could be about anything, but Reflog will win the poll.
Right. Put anybody into office.
That's right.
Or on the cover of whatever you want to put it.
Mike, let's talk some Brownies real quick. So we've got the draft coming up in Cleveland, which is super cool. They're putting up the stage right now. Who do you want
now, Dave? They're doing it right now.
24
9/27.
Oh, they are working around the clock. They are scrambling.
The draft is not sleep.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No, yeah, they're putting it up. They're putting it up. Who do you want them to take, position wise?
It's so funny. I kind of wanted you to ask me this question because I literally don't have an answer. As far as the past 10, 15 years go, I knew exactly. Right.
I have no idea. I haven't looked at it. Next question.
Here's the thing. Like,
Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's just land back on video games. You know, that's where the expertise lies. But no, I've been so into the draft the past like 15 years.
It was our Super Bowl.
We picked in the top 5, every time. Now we're just going to take the best player that's available. What a comfort and what an awesome feeling that is as a Browns fan, right?
That's a good point. That is a really good point. Here's a question. When these guys get drafted, and back to your days at Madden, when they rank these players, how do they do that? Any idea?
Oh, the ratings adjuster. You want me to give you some ratings adjuster secrets, huh?
Oh, yeah. I think we had him on one time.
My friend Dustin, as a matter of fact, right?
Yes.
He was on with
Yeah, he'll-
Max Wilson, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came on
Mac
with Mac.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Photoshopper.
Mac could yell.
Expert Photoshopper, Mac Wilson, our friend Mac Wilson.
Oh, wah, wah, wah,
Ooh,
wah.
yeah, he got busted big time.
Shop buddies were all like, look at the doorway behind him, bro. And the doorway is all like this.
He's got his own gravity. That's all that is. Just warped everything around him.
There was some really good photoshops about that after the fact.
Tell you what, they will tell you, Dustin will tell you if you have him on, it's a science. Lots of research, lots of hard work. I'll be honest. There's a lot of research that does go into it. He looks at a lot of stats. It's tough to compare, man, because he's trying to, give a 40 time speed, and a 40 time for a lineman isn't necessarily the same 40 time as what a halfback is going to relate to their speed rating. So I don't envy the rating adjuster's job, as a matter of fact, but they're always, they're trying to come up with a formula constantly to pump out that rating in something that makes sense, because I'm telling you, nobody takes more heat on Twitter than the ratings guy at Madden. You know what I mean? So
What player in the NFL has been the most pissed off about their rating over the years? Can you think of somebody?
Yeah,
Who's really
absolutely.
come
I'm trying to think who is the most boisterous about it. Keenan Allen, very not happy at all. My guy Keenan Allen, not happy with his ratings last year. He actually said he was going to quit Madden. They raised some stats for him. He went back to the drawing board, looked at some film. At least he said he looked at some film, my guy Dustin.
Let's see what we can do for you.
He had a couple of plus buttons there, plus, and he was pretty happy. I'm trying to think who else. Man, they get fired up. Literally everybody. I'll tell you the one rating nobody's happy with is speed. I've never heard anybody happy with their speed rating. Everybody thinks that they're faster than they are. Baker Mayfield was most upset about his catching rating. I read it rookie ratings to Baker Mayfield while I was there. He was fine with everything except his catching. Like, what the heck? He's like, I have better hands than some of my receivers.
That's held true. He's caught a few.
I was going to say, he did it out on the field.
They get worked up about it. When we read rookie ratings, you can see any of the videos that we put out reading those rookie ratings, they would get emotional about it. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal.
Is they get upset about speed. That seems to be one of the more objective measures on there, right? Like you can see what their 40 time is. And I know that's not necessarily football fast or whatever, but it's still a number that you can base all this stuff on. So if they're complaining about that, it's like, it's right there, man. You ran the 40 at this, right?
It's pretty it's pretty conclusive, right?
Yeah.
What your speed is when you're taking the stopwatch. That's why I think they kind of get too complicated in the ratings for Madden. They kind of look into some things a little bit too deep. In my humble opinion, you know what I mean? Because there's some black and white ratings out there that I think people address, and they really have good points when they talk to my guy Dustin, you know what I mean? So,
Mike, did you apply under a different alias for that job?
I was thinking about shaving my beard, and somebody suggested shaving my beard. I was like, that is a great idea. Madden's hiring for a community manager again, and I've been trying to get back with EA for a long time here. I think they're seeing me coming, basically, so we might go incognito mode, take off the whiskers, and give it another try here. We'll see.
There we
Instead
go.
of Mutt Guru, you could have done like Tum Guru, like just tweak it a little bit, like flip it.
I think it's a great idea. Somebody had the disguise. It was funny. I was actually handing out Madden codes back at NFL Experience in Houston, and I've never had disguises used on me before. Like, I didn't think disguises was a real thing, but I'm handing out codes, right? And like the same kid kept showing up in a different hat or like a different shirt every time he came through the line to get a different code. And I've just never seen the use of disguises in real life before, and it literally happened in front of me.
He Billy Vegas'd you.
He did. The officers that were with me were trying to tell me, like, hey, that's the same kid. I actually knew what it was, but it was like, man, he's putting the effort out here. He deserves another go. Go ahead. Here you go.
All right, that's enough Madden. We're over it. What are you doing now, man? So we have some pretty cool pictures of you fishing down in Florida. So first of all, for people who don't know you, Canton native, huge Browns fan, moved down to Florida how many years ago?
17. Basically,
17.
the very first, when I got my car, I got the heck out of Ohio as quick as I could. I ran from black ice. I ran from Lake Effect snow as quickly as I could. Okay. And
So you're
been
from
down here in
Canton. Where did
Florida
you go
ever
to high
since.
school?
Oh, man. Where didn't I go to high school, Chris? Is the question, really. St. Vincent St. Mary's is one of my bigger alma maters
Okay.
in Akron, Ohio. So when
I'm familiar
LeBron
with
was
Ohio.
actually in 7th grade when I was a junior, and we were all hearing stories about the 7th grader that was slam dunking on poor little kids in 7th grade. So that was pretty cool. I also went to St. Thomas Aquinas in Alliance as well. So those were my two local schools there.
Yeah. Got into trouble a lot? Is that why you moved around like that?
A little bit. Couldn't be contained. Hard to capture, hard to contain.
I
But
see.
Canton native, if anybody knows where Lake Cable is in Canton, Ohio, or Portage Lakes system, that's where I learned how to fish. My grandfather taught me how to fish. I grew up fishing for largemouth bass in Lake Cable. Had a little aluminum bow with a 6 horsepower Evinrude on it. It was catching turtles with a net, catching big channel cats. Great fishing still in Lake Cable, as a matter of fact. But now, once you come to Florida and you catch 100-pound fish with a bait the size of the bass that you're catching in Ohio, it's kind of hard to go back, if you know what I mean. So
He's got an elitist on us. Fish
a little bit,
Look at this
Yeah.
fish.
That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
What is this thing?
It's very pink.
So it is. It's a mutton snapper, which the world record is 30 pounds. That's 22 pounds right there. The picture really doesn't do it justice. It's 34.5 inches. We went to just to kind of to build it up here. We went to a place called the Dry Tortugas. And if you know where Key West is,
Yep.
it's basically if they kept making bridges past Key West, that's where the Dry Tortugas and the Marquesas is. One of the last great fisheries in America, untouched, unscathed by commercial fishing and things like that. So we went out for 2 nights straight. I had the trip booked for a whole year, and it was 48 straight hours at sea on a 50-foot boat. And you're talking about sleeping in bait, nasty, camping at sea. It was awesome.
So in this picture, let me put it back up there. Let me move it up a little bit, because there is how many of these things did you catch? This is probably the biggest one, but there is just a ton. Look at them all on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
So we caught probably about 400 pounds of fish between 6 guys on this
Oh
trip.
my God.
We limited out on snapper. We limited out on grouper.
Did you have to
and,
register as like a commercial fisherman at that point?
at that point, right? But the captain has all the licensing he needs for everybody, and it's just up to us to fill the fish box. And we did that, man. Everything. When we had tuna, we had kingfish, we had snapper, we had grouper, we had snappers from 600 feet of water called yellow eye snappers. A lot of them still vacuum sealed in the freezer, ready for consumption right now. I've been eating fish for like a week straight. I'm ready for a steak right now.
Mike, what's the best fish to eat? Because I remember you talking about smoking kingfish. You've been tweeting a lot of videos and pictures of you cooking up some of these fish that you're catching. What's the best fish down there to eat?
That's like asking what your favorite movie is or your favorite athlete, or like that's one of those questions.
Draft
It's like,
day.
man,
Draft
yeah,
day.
Oh, that was easy. All right, mutton snapper. Fine, I'll go with a quick one too. Fine. But a lot of these fish, you come down here. If you've never had saltwater fish, it's definitely a lot different than freshwater fish. Freshwater fish, I know it seems like you have to do a lot to it to make it edible. Like, let's soak this bass meat in milk and onions for 48 hours before we eat it. I don't want that. If I have to do that, I don't want that, right? So mutton snapper, like, it tastes like crab meat right out of the box. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's just basically like lump crab meat, but in fillet form. So pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, that's sweet. Dude, so like when you catch these things, is it like Is it like when you go in the middle of the day here in Ohio and you cast it and it doesn't bite and you reel it back in like 100 times, or is it kind of like a little bit more action, like what you see on TV? Like you cast it and like it hits right away. Like if you know kind of thing.
We do down here. One is trolling. The other one is bottom fishing. Trolling, we say trolling is hours of boredom mixed with 15 minutes of pure absolute chaos, right? Like you can literally have 3-4 sailfish come into the lineup after you've just been kind of laid back, watching things for like 2 hours, kind of getting bored, sipping on a beer a little bit, and then everything explodes like a nuclear bomb, right? And that's what you go for, and that's what you enjoy. My favorite kind of fishing is bottom fishing, which is what we did, right? We get to the spot, captain takes us to the spot, drops the anchor, and we legit just drop to the bottom and wait for a bite. The rod is in your hands. You're feeling the bite. You're getting the tug. It's mano a mano, straight up and down versus sometimes 50-pound fish, 100-pound fish. It's kind of like, it's pretty amazing stuff, man. And, we just use heavy lead weights to get down to the bottom. We're fishing anywhere between 200 feet to 400 feet of water. You know what I mean? So definitely some skill involved. Your knots, super important. Your gear, super important. Your bait, super important. This saltwater fishing ain't just kind of like a weekend ho-hum kind of thing. There's massive amounts of preparation that are involved.
Mike, you posted a video, gosh, I forget when it was, but of marlin fishing. That I don't think it was your video, but I think you told me marlins, like when you're trying to catch them, can like jump out of the boat and like try to spear you, like kill you. Is that a real thing?
There have been deaths on board, bro. For real. You're talking about a 500-pound fish traveling at 60 miles an hour. That's a lot of momentum, bro. He comes on board. Sometimes these things can skyrocket 10 feet out of the air straight up. So there is the danger. And I've seen a lot of videos of these fish jumping on board, breaking tackle, breaking people. And the worst case scenario, they have a sword on their face. Like it's a huge spike, and people have been impaled, man. So I mean, safety is the number one thing we talk about when we go fishing, man. You're 80 miles offshore. You don't have any cell phone service. There's a lot of different things you have to take into account to be safe.
That is wild.
You imagine?
That is wild.
No.
Chris is like, no,
I
definitely
wouldn't
not.
last a day out there. I'd be
Oh,
gone.
come on. I was just about to pitch the idea of a big play reflog fishing trip.
Wow.
And this shoots it down off.
That needs to happen for sure.
I like this idea, though.
God,
I like
that
this
would be
idea. Until I get speared by a marlin.
fun. Right.
I haven't hooked a marlin yet. I've hooked a lot of sailfish, but my buddies tell me sailfish is absolutely nothing after you catch a marlin. So I'm pretty psyched with my sailfish. So I'm pretty excited to experience that.
All right, so Mike, now you've taken your gaming, you've taken your fishing, and you're with a gigantic company now. On what do they have, like 3 million subscribers on YouTube for fishing, right? Black Tip H. What's the name? What does that mean?
Hey man, Black Tip H is started by Josh Jorgensen a number of years ago, I believe back in 2008. And basically it was just somebody who loved catching sharks, right? There's a lot of sharks here in Florida and they're a blast to catch no matter how you do that, whether it's the migration off of the beaches that come by here, which just went through here recently. We had tens of thousands of black tip sharks right off of our beach. And then the sharks that came along with them, like 1,000-pound hammerheads, those were around. But basically he just was one of the first people to put a camera in front of big game fishing, so it's turned into one of the biggest fishing shows in the world. It has over 10 million followers across all of his channels, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube,
Wow.
whether it's Facebook. So I mean, you Google in Black Tip H, some really cool stuff is going to pop up. Josh takes guys like Rob Gronkowski out fishing, Dude Perfect out fishing. The Paul brothers, I don't know how you feel about how cool they are or not. They've been out fishing. Greg Norman caught a 1,000-pound hammerhead with Josh on one of his videos. So
How about that second time Greg Norman came up in this particular show? That's amazing, right?
That is
the shark.
the shark catching sharks.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Greg Norman fan. Best Greg Norman story though, he almost cut off his own arm with a chainsaw.
A marlin.
chainsaw about a year ago. Yeah, he was like
What?
clearing some brush around his place in Australia, and he almost cut off his own arm with a chainsaw.
Wow.
For like some
True
kind of
story.
competition, because what I've heard of Greg Norman, he would cut his own arm off to win a competition, pretty much. So that was kind of making sense. That's what Josh tells me, the uttermost competitor. I mean, just little things on the boat, like, you know, who was going to catch the first fish, you know, who's going to catch the biggest fish. They were having mini competitions on the boat. You know, that's how competitive he is.
Johnny Yu on Facebook says he's in for a big play saltwater trip. So we got a +1 already. Here we go.
On my captain's license right now, taking my last exams May 4th. So I'll be able to, I'm basically going to be a charter boat captain. So come on down. We'll get on the fish, man.
Oh,
Yes.
Heck.
I'm getting excited now. I like this idea.
Look how excited Nick is. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm fully vaccinated tomorrow. To Florida whenever. Tan, fishing, you name it, I'm there.
You heard there's no pandemic in Florida, right? We're
Oh,
all
yeah.
immune in Florida. You've seen all the pictures, right?
You guys are
Like,
way
no
past
masks.
that. Yeah.
Herd immunity, Florida. Once you cross the Florida border, it's herd immunity.
It is. I was in Tampa last weekend, so
Wow.
it's different down there.
Dude, in Key West, I was there for St. Patrick's Day, and I rode around on a bicycle with a mask, like just partaking and like viewing everything that was going on. There's literally like hundreds of people watching a show with no mask on. I'm like, this is crazy.
So, Mike, what are you doing now at Black Tip H?
Streams here. I'm doing a little everything right now. The main goal is to get our stream a professional look, a professional tone, right? So I'm bringing some of my knowledge from EA Sports there. We just had our second stream total, and that's on Twitch at Black Tip H. Promotion, shameless promotion.
Boom, boom, boom.
And, we hit our first 100 subs tonight, as a matter of fact. So it was a nice milestone.
Nice. So this is brand new.
He's been streaming for a little bit, you know, but it's really grassroots. He's just kind of hit the live button. Here's what's interesting. I moved down to Jupiter, Florida here, and Josh Jorgensen, who lives in Jupiter, Florida, reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I love gaming," and it's a fisherman who loves gaming talking to a gamer who loves fishing. So it's like kind of come together pretty awesome here. We've taken his stream to a new level. There's some of the basic stuff he was missing before: overlays, art, animations, commands, links, you know, some pretty easy stuff right now. We've been getting those taken care of and those baselines set, and we're going to kind of just take it to a different level. I already have plans getting some athletes on the stream, on the boat. So we're going to kind of just keep continuing to mix that content of fishing and football together.
So, Mike, I know about football. I know about fishing. I know about the video games. Are you much of a baseball fan?
After Mesa melted down on the mound, basically right after that, I stopped. I was like, I can only take so much heartbreak in Cleveland, so let's stick with the Browns. Basically.
So everything before that, then that would be perfect because we play a game on this show. I don't know if you know about this. We play a baseball card game, right? And this was inspired by Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac, right? They went out over COVID, got themselves into trouble. They said that they were playing baseball cards. So every week we play baseball cards. Usually it's just Dave and I, but I've got 3 packs today. And this is from pre-Jose Mesa. This is, I believe, 1990. I don't know if it's actually on here. So basically,
Years or Upper Deck or what do we got
this is
there?
Dundras.
Let's go. I love it.
Okay. So I got 3. Do you want the one that's on the left, my right, or the one in the middle?
Middle, baby.
Middle. All right, here we go. Let's fire them up. Let's see if you get any. Last week it was a disaster. The cards were absolutely horrible, Mike. We didn't know any of the players, and that rarely happens. Like Nick's young enough, he doesn't know a lot of the players, but like between Dave and I, we know most. Oh, here you go, right off the bat, playing for the Pirates, Felix Fermin.
Maine, absolutely. That's a name for sure.
Got that one.
That's a
Dennis
name.
Rasmussen. Yeah. Ron Oyster. I don't know.
No.
Hey.
Greg Harris doesn't do much for
Yeah,
him.
man.
Ken Caminiti. There you go with the Astros.
There we go. There's a familiar name.
Ken
Nick's
Hill.
like who?
Jack McDowell from the White Sox.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Brian Harvey. Ooh, this is going rough again. Ray Hayward. It's really going downhill.
Chris needs a new
Just
card
stopped
back.
at Felix Fermin, I think. Tom Gordon, that's not bad. Johnny Paredes, that's bad. Todd Burns, also bad. Jose de Jesus. All right. Tim Leary.
I thought we were gonna get a Conseco there for a second. You had me excited.
Hensley Mullins. I don't.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. And Wes
no,
Gardner.
no.
Something called Wes Gardner there.
All right. Well,
Oof,
yeah, we
sorry,
did great
man.
right out of the gates, but that's
So
about it.
you want to go with maybe Jack McDowell, Felix Fermin, or Ken Caminiti, Felix Fermin?
We're going Felix. Absolutely.
Felix and Ken Caminiti, because you take two.
Oh, well, I know Cam. Those are the two I know. So let's go with the two I
Yep,
know.
let's go with
Love
that.
it.
Nick, do you
Love
know
it.
either of those players?
I have baseball reference on speed dial. We're figuring it out.
If
All right, I'm gonna
if that wins, that is going to be so pathetic.
Yeah, we might have to suspend the segment for a week if
I'm never buying Dundras again. All right, here we
One
go.
much.
Dave.
We'll see if he can win tonight.
Eric King,
Wait, is this you or me?
this is you.
I didn't even get to pick. Wow, this is rigged.
You didn't. I just picked the next one for you.
Rigged.
I figure we need to move this segment along. the
Yeah,
way these
please
players-
do.
Juan Castillo,
All right.
Oswald Pereza.
Let's-
Oh, there you go. There you go. Playing for the Pirates, Bobby Bonilla.
Still getting paid.
always a winner.
That's a good one. Willie McGee, another guy who's probably in baseball right now. Jamie Moyer.
All right.
Yeah, left-handed reliever.
I
He's
hope
still
he
a-
doesn't make it.
Oh, you got two Bobby Bonillas. This is
Double
the first time
Bobby
we've had this
Bo.
happen in the game.
Double up. Look
You
at
got
That's
that.
just
double up
his
on
goal.
Bobby Bonilla. Okay, Ozzie Virgil, yeah. Rob Murphy, David Palmer. Oh man, this is a good pack. Tony Gwynn,
Oh, it's over.
Oh, look
Man,
at
what?
this.
It's
The
over.
barehander?
Bob Nepper.
Let's
Now you're
go.
just running up the score.
What?
Keith Hernandez
Oh, Seinfeld actor. Nice.
also played for the Indians. Was a horrible signing for us. Cameron Drew and Charlie Howe. Who? So, are you going to go with two Bobby Bonillas? Are you going to mix in a Tony Gwynn? Are you going to mix in a Keith Hernandez?
I'm definitely putting Tony Gwynn and Bobby Bonilla together.
Okay.
It's over.
Tony Gwynn, Bobby Bonilla.
It's
That's
over.
pretty
We
solid.
finally had a good pack.
That's pretty solid up against Ken Caminiti and Felix Fermin. But wait, there's more. Here I come. Oh, look at that. Coming right out there hot with a Bud Black from the Indians.
That's a good card.
That's a good card. Jeff Hamilton, not so good. Hal Morris, not so good. Tom Bolton, not so good. That's
Please.
Michael's brother. Who is this? Daryl Evans, Mark Clear, Wally Joyner. That's not bad. Maybe it is bad.
It's not
Luis
great.
Riviera, Bill Long, Willie Frazier again, Craig Biggio.
That's a good card.
Oh, bad. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, Biggio versus Ken Caminiti, Battle of Astros. Tim Jones, Darren Dalton. There's not a bad one.
No, I
Norm Charlton, Shane Mack, and Chris Spear. Oof. Oof.
thought you were
The
gonna
rough pack of the night.
I'm going to go with Wally Joyner and Craig Biggio up against your Tony Gwynn and Bobby Bonilla. And Mike, your Felix Fermin and Ken Caminiti. Nick, who gets the victory tonight?
Yeah, that's the ironic part about this is that I'm the judge, Mike. So welcome to this game. And I'm going to pick Bobby Bonilla because he's still getting paid. So Dave, congratulations, you secure a win.
With double Bobby Bonilla. Very
I mean,
nice, Dave.
I really was hoping that if that Tony Gwynn didn't get picked, that we would go double Bobby Bonilla, and I was going to pick that regardless of if Chris somehow pulled a Babe Ruth.
I thought you were gonna pull a Greg Norman, get him back talking to Greg Norman on the
There you
show.
go. That's not bad. Mike, thanks
See
for
what-
playing.
Well, I have a suggestion. If those were Pokemon cards, this segment would be way more popular with Pokemon cards the way they are right now. You see, I love this resurgence of actual card collecting.
What are you
going on right now.
talking about?
Are you guys seeing this?
No, Nick
Oh.
is he's nodding his head yes. But
I love Pokemon, and
Oh,
I grew
God.
up on Pokemon cards, so
hold on, let me go ahead and put you back on the screen while you say that, Nick, so I can cut that into a promo clip.
Well, Mike, we were talking about a new segment for Pogs. We were going to do Pogs somehow remotely. How about that?
Pogs
Remember
and
those?
slammers.
It's like the spinner battle things, right? Is that what those are? I think.
Kind of. They're just the discs, and you shoot them, and collect them,
Absolutely.
try and collect
Yeah.
them all, I guess. I don't know. It was right after my time, so I didn't really get into Pogs. My brother did, I think, a little bit.
Pogs were sweet.
Did you get into Pogs, Dave?
Pogs and slammers.
Slammers, yeah. Those are the
Yeah.
like drivers of the set.
Yeah. I don't know how we ended with that, but that was solid.
On Pogs is
And
always
on
our-
Pogs, baby.
Yeah. Hey, if Nick's got any of those Pokemon sitting in the closet, he legit could be a millionaire right now. Not
Yeah,
anymore.
I wish I did. You know what's funny about that is right when we were moving houses, I give him all to my little chubby neighbor. So he's probably like cashing out. He's probably like 16 right now, just cashing out on eBay. I'm buying that kid a Hellcat Charger probably.
Ordered
Oh no,
dope.
I've given away like 3 binders of Pokemon and like stuff that was probably worth so much. And I
know.
have to say to myself, I'm like, bro, don't even think about it because you're just gonna kill yourself.
I know. I try to tell myself like it's from Target. Like there was nothing good in there. It was just a bunch of like power up cards. Like
Brutal.
Card that sold for like $200,000 like 2 weeks. One card.
Incredible.
You guys can get your hands on any of these prisms. You can do a break. Hey, just new idea for the show, man. It'd be super popular.
There we go.
You can't even get your
Pokemon.
hands on them right now.
So happy we had you on. So now we're gonna have a Pokemon segment going forward. Thanks, Mike.
Pokemon and Pogs. It writes itself.
Oh man, Mike, always good talking to you. Where can everyone find all this stuff you're doing for Blacktip H?
At Mud Guru on Twitter, but you can also hit Blacktip H on Twitter itself. We're trying to grow that Twitter channel. But the big Blacktip H channels are going to be Twitch. You're going to find that gaming stream over on Twitch. Trying to run one at least once a week, but I'm forming a stream team right now. So we're going to have that channel live pretty much every day is the goal. Blacktip H on YouTube is probably where you can find the best in the fishing videos. Really cool stuff over there, guys, like mind-blowing, like 500-pound fish over there. Highly suggest you hit that YouTube button over there. Also, though, on Snapchat, TikTok, I mean, just search Blacktip H. A bunch of stuff is going to come up.
Bunch of merch, some Pogs. They're going to be introducing some Pogs that are going to come out. I want to get my slammer from Blacktip H.
H-Pog inbound for you, bro.
Sweet. Can't wait.
There we go. All right, brother. Good times. We will let you go. Go Browns. And when you coming up, man? We got a Hall of Fame's back. Let's go.
There's a pandemic in Ohio. There's not one in Florida, so I don't know when I'm going to be up there. But hey, I wish I could have got up there for the draft, man. I love Northeast Ohio. I love Canton. I love coming home. Basically the mecca of a football fan. Who wouldn't love growing up in Canton, Ohio? I got to get back up there soon to hang out with you guys for sure. In the same respect, please get down here, get on the water, man. We'll catch them up.
Go past that charter license,
Getting a lot
and
of
we are
Canton love.
on our way. What
Last week we had Ben Curtis on, and we asked him who his favorite golf course was.
Yeah,
He said Brookside,
that's
which
right.
is there in Canton. So Canton's getting a lot
Dales. Last time I was in Canton, Hills and Dales, man, overgrown. It's hate to see that golf course shut down. That's the one I grew up on right there on Brunerdale.
because you're a man of the people. That's the course you play. I respect that.
Thank you guys for having me on. It was great seeing the community again. Great to be in front of your community again. Love you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you,
Mike,
sir.
appreciate it, dude. We'll talk to you soon, very soon. All right, Mike McFadden, ladies and gentlemen, go give him a follow. I'm going to leave him on until I'm going to see if we can figure out how to turn it off here. He's dancing. He's dancing. Let's go.
He's got some moves.
Goodbye. Oh, I love it. All right, let's move into some headlines here. That was fun. Mike's awesome. He's such a great guy.
I want to go fishing now.
Dude, go check out his Twitter
Those
handle.
pictures were amazing. Those
Yeah.
are huge fish.
They don't even look real. Like a couple of the
No.
ones that they caught over that weekend, like they they don't look real. It looks like a cartoon.
It's amazing.
It's wild.
I can't imagine being that far from shore too. You're over 80 miles out of shore.
Yeah, I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah.
A marlin gets you, man. That's it.
It's over. It's over.
It's over, man. It's over.
We'll stick with Lake Erie. The carp can't take us down.
No, that's a good point.
Let's talk some headlines. Nick, you want to hit us with the live
let's
read
do
and
it.
give away a jersey?
Let's give away the jersey. It's on my Twitter, might as well. Cleveland headlines on Big Play Reflog, brought to you by our good friends at Total Sports Enterprises Cleveland. Every week we'll be giving away a signed Cleveland sports memorabilia item courtesy of TSE Cleveland. Check them out and follow the Big Play Reflog show and TSE Cleveland Twitter handles for your chance to win every week. Signed jerseys, helmets, or personal items that you want to send in. TSE truly has it all. Stay tuned for next week's giveaway. Look out for our show tweet to announce how to enter and how to win. Guys, we need a drum roll because we're about to give away a J.C. Treader autographed jersey.
The president.
All right, we got it. The winner of this week's contest for that autographed J.C. Treader jersey from my Twitter account is none other than Jesse on Twitter at JAB_251988. Congratulations, Jesse. You just won yourself a J.C. Treader jersey from TSE Cleveland.
Interesting.
I never know if that's going to be the sound clip where it keeps going. Interesting.
Interesting. Wearing his hat backwards.
There it was.
What happened to Carson Wentz's season? When he went to the podium with his hat on backwards.
Wait, that's Carson.
You're bad. The season unraveled.
That's Cowherd saying, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Who'd you think it was?
Oh, I didn't realize that was him.
Interesting.
Do you think it was Riz?
No, it doesn't really sound like Cowherd because he's trying to be like funny.
Yeah, it's Joey Molinaro.
Because I will fight you.
That's right.
That's good. Interesting.
Chris,
is good.
play that full one.
You're one of the people out there that is planning a parade for 0-16. I will fight you. Come down and see me right now. I am at Buffalo Wild Wings. You're going to celebrate my misery for 4 months? I saw the guy. One of the guys came up to me.
The consummate professional. He gets in the plug in the middle of the rant. I love that.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, let's talk some headlines. Indians, 3-4 since our last week's road trip.
What were our predictions?
I think we were all like, we're going to take 2 or 3 of those. Very,
I think
very
on the positive side, I
even-keeled.
think on the optimistic, we were saying 4 games.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
And on the low side, 3 games.
It was
so,
a
they're
weird,
on the low side.
weird week. What stood out the most for you guys? Obviously, Bieber looked good. We got no-hitter, triple plays. A lot of stuff was going on for Cleveland baseball.
How about that Saturday game? I mean, goes through Naylor's. He does the Buckner, goes through his feet, or goes through his legs. I mean, I don't know. I was pretty deflated by that one. For a game that's in April, that particular play, that particular game, losing to Cincinnati, clinching that you're not going to win that series, that really hurt on Saturday. And a lot more than, a game in April really should have. But for some reason, that really jarred me. It was nice to see Shane Bieber help us to rebound the next day on Sunday. But, man, that hurt. That hurt. Got guys all over the field playing out of position, and to have that big error, then you had Rosario forget how to run the bases. I mean, these are just fundamental things that the Indians continue to do that undermines what our pitching staff has done. Because our pitching staff has been fantastic, and if our offense could do anything and then we could stay out of our own way, we're going to be, I think, okay. But, man, it was just deflating on Saturday to see us lose to the Reds like that.
As good as we are at evaluating and bringing up pitching from the farm system, How did they miss on Tyler Naquin so badly? I mean, I know that
He had
like,
to hit a home run, right?
Oh,
He
come
had to hit a
on.
home run on Bieber on Sunday. You knew he was going to do something
knew
at
it.
some point in that series. Yeah.
That's rough. I mean, you look at our outfield, you look at what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot and you don't know baseball. No, you are an idiot. Listen, you're going to tell me.
You're an idiot, Dave. You just don't know baseball.
I am an idiot. Yeah.
That's right.
Damn.
Tyler Naquin's going to fall off just like he always does, right? That's what everybody's saying. We'll see.
We shall see. Guy who we need to not fall off but come up. Is it time, Chris? Is it time to bring up the assassin?
In the offseason, it was time to bring him up. Yes. Bring up the assassin. Bring up Bobby Bradley. Come on. He's tearing it up. He continues to tear it up. I mean, you got to get this guy up here. You got to get a legitimate first baseman who can field the position and who can also swing the bat. And that's what Bobby Bradley, the assassin, brings to the table. Please, Cleveland Indians, bring him up. Let's see the assassin back in Cleveland.
Heck yeah. All right, so this week, long homestand, we've got 2 versus the White Sox. We've got 4 versus the Yankees, who suck. We should be able to. They're
How great is
horrible.
that?
It's so fun.
How great is that? Yankees suck. That's fun. I love
That
it.
we should do that as a power rank one time. Teams that we want to do horribly, horribly bad.
Yeah.
We're all gonna have Pittsburgh at 1.
Pittsburgh will be up
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
You
That's
know-
true. That would be a good one though, I think. That'd be good.
It would have been in past years. This kind of goes back to like the Lance Armstrong. Like years ago, you said Lance Armstrong being the most dominant, but now
Warriors.
it's like Michigan would have been right up there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michigan's not even on that list, I don't think. So we're gonna have to do that one. We're definitely gonna have to do that power rank.
It is on the list now. All right, Padone, what are you expecting out of the Tribe as we kind of head into these next couple of series here?
Yeah, just keep looking competent. Like it's been tough. Like
That should be our tagline for this season. There
Yeah,
you go,
just-
Indians marketing department.
Just
That's it.
look
That'll get the
competent.
fans out to the yard. We just increased the attendance to 30% or
to
something.
40, I think. Or
40 from 30 to 40% now, and just look competent. Cleveland Indians baseball 2021.
Because it's so true, man. It's just like the games that we look competent and that the bats actually do something,
Yeah.
we win. Because the pitching is there. It's going to be there every night. If you would score more than 3 runs, it's probably all you're going to need. But getting to that point is like pulling teeth half the time. So just finding some sort of consistency in all seriousness is what I hope we can accomplish. Obviously, 2 big games, interdivision against Chicago, but then the Yankees, they're not what they used to be, but they always seem to find a way to have our card. So you can't just fold up when you see those jerseys.
You got people retiring rather than playing for the Yankees right now.
Jay,
Fantastic.
Jay Bruce, how about that? I didn't know he was still around.
I didn't either.
No.
I didn't either. They were really hoping for his help this year. I guess.
Did you guys see my tweet about like I got a noise complaint in my freshman year in Kent in the dorms?
Yeah.
Jay Bruce got us the 22nd win. My roommate and I were going just absolutely bonkers in there. We got a noise complaint, so the security shows up in their yellow jackets and they think they're about to solve a huge issue. And they knock on the door, and then they find out that it was the Indians game, and they're like trying to befriend us and watch it. We were like, hey, no, you were coming in here to cause some issues.
That's awesome. All right, let's shift gears. That's enough Indians for now. Let's talk Browns. Obviously, we mentioned it last week. We were rumored to bring Clowney here. It actually happened, which was kind of crazy. Even crazier than that, the reason he said he wanted to be here is because we win. That still hasn't processed.
Let's move past that. Come on. We are at the point. We are a good team.
We are.
a good team.
We
We've got
are.
to accept that fact.
It's just weird. It's still weird.
is still
Then on the flip side, we lose Sheldon Richardson. Nick,
Not so fast, my friend.
what?
Well, Nick, we were talking about this before the show. There is the rumor that he may come back to us once he finds a market that isn't as willing to pay him what he wants out there, and he comes back to the Cleveland Browns to win a ring. Right? That's the story.
Chris is getting some inside scoops from the Browns toaster, it sounds like.
Hey,
I am indeed. I rely on the toaster for all my inside information, and I
What?
don't have to pay $8.50 a month for it.
You might have to soon.
Nick, do you think there's any chance we bring him back? It seems like we're getting to go down that path.
Yeah, it definitely does. And it's just because these analytically driven front offices like the Browns that's starting to pop up all around the league, like what Marcus Mosher was talking about with us last week. Like people are kind of chasing this Andrew Berry philosophy. And maybe it's like a trickle down effect. Maybe teams are like, wait, Andrew Berry isn't willing to pay this guy $13 million a year. That's what he's coming here and wants. Like, why are we going to do that? Like, we want to be good too. So I think that Sheldon Richardson market just might never materialize. And he was a guy that was deeply loved in the locker room, like pre-COVID days. Anything that was going around in the locker room, whether it was like, little cliques that form offensive side of the ball, defense, special teams, Sheldon Richardson was everywhere. So that was not a popular move to release him. I think bringing him back would be smart, period, for everything. But I think it's something that could happen because he has a good relationship with everybody here already. And it sounds like if he's willing to come back, that's already out there, that they probably left on good terms, that he was going to explore and see if he could find that big money. And if he can't, he has a home right back here. That's kind of what it sounds like where we're at here. But it's going to be like a long, patient game where people are going to be like, oh, what's going on? Where is this guy? Like, I thought we were getting him back. It's going to be a minute.
That's wild.
Hey, that's all right.
The craziest thing out of everything you just said there is the fact that other teams in the league are looking what the Browns are doing and what Andrew Berry is doing and saying, oh, well, if they're not going to sign people, then for that number, we're not going to do it either. It's like we're getting the treatment that the Patriots and Bill Belichick and Pioli and all those guys have gotten over the years. All of a sudden, that's kind of wild. You talk about uncomfortable. That's a wild place to be in as a Browns fan. Not only are we good, but now people are looking up to us and trying to model their organizations after us.
Heck yeah. Why not? We are there. It's fantastic. But Nick, we were talking off air about this draft class, defensive tackle. There's not any like big names out there. And like talking depth wise, like into the later rounds, it doesn't seem like there's anyone that anyone's talking about with defensive tackle.
Right. You have the big one in Christian Barmore, like from Alabama.
Sure.
He's the goods. Like he's going to come in to the league and he's actually going to be good. I believe. I'm a fan of him. But outside of that, there's a few guys that like I've just done some research on just to do it. Like since the Browns are now in that market, I think Bobby Brown is a name to kind of watch out for around round 3, 4, maybe. That's where the Browns could possibly look to address that position in a world that Sheldon Richardson is not back with the team. But it's interesting that maybe is that like the new dying breed? Like we saw over the last 5 years, the trend is running backs. Like they don't last very long. They don't, bring you that much and you could easily replace them. Maybe that's the new philosophy with defensive tackles because there's going to be one drafted in the first round and maybe only one more in the second round.
It's crazy. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, we've ran late, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys what you want to do. We can go Stump the Flog, or we can go best and worst tweets and talk about that fight.
From what I hear, Stump the Flog isn't going to be pretty for either of us.
Yeah, let's go best and worst tweets and get out of here.
That's fine. We can save that one for next week. All right, let's go. Just as Chris said, best and worst tweets of the week. All right, this one goes to Mechadon at Mechadon Music, and he was talking about that shit show of a fight. He says, I watched Mike Tyson growing up. These kids are watching Jake Paul. We are not the same. Nick, he was talking to you.
Yeah, probably.
What
a world.
That rang so true. I felt that tweet. That was a good one. Micah Dunn, well done. Well done. Let's talk about that fight, Nick, because that was horrible. That
You
whole
didn't like it?
the whole event was horrible. It was like 2 hours of concerts with no one there. Super weird. And then like the commentary was kind of fun because they were all high. Like Snoop Dogg, Pete Davidson. He was actually really funny.
Yeah.
But I
He
would
ripped on it pretty good. I saw some of the clips from it.
yeah.
Pretty self-aware there.
He
Mhm.
was ripping on Askren too. He kept saying like Ben Askren, who I'm still trying to find out who that is.
He's like, I've done a week of research and I still don't know who that is.
Oh. But so Nick, you're a big Jake Paul fan.
No.
I think you are. You're a closet Jake
No.
Paul fan.
No.
No.
I just thought it was cool. I thought the event was cool, to be completely honest, just because like when have you ever seen something like that? It was a complete circus. It was.
Oscar De La Hoya was plastered.
Justin Bieber sang 3 songs and didn't even realize he had to sing a 4th one until this music started playing, and he was like, "Oh my god, sorry," and started singing his next song. It was insane.
Yeah, it was like the lowest production quality, but
It made $65 million.
It had good moments. It had some moments, but Jake Paul, he's acting like he is beating Mike Tyson. Like he's not fighting anyone. That
Yeah.
Ben Askren was a horrible striker in the MMA. He was a wrestler.
Right.
Did you see Stephen A. Smith's tweet?
No.
He's basically saying that, Jake Paul's legit. He's got to be his competition's got to step up. He's got to get a better fight.
He's got to
but
fight
he's
a
legit
boxer.
fighter.
Yeah, if he fights a boxer, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and like I really think he could. Like his whole thing is that he's taking this seriously now, and he's being honest.
He
Like, I
doesn't
just
look bad.
I follow him on Instagram, and he does lock himself in these training camps for 4 months where he just trains with Olympic boxers to learn the sport. And like he's taking it seriously. So the next step is to find someone that will take him seriously and accept an actual boxing fight. But in the interim, I think this is just it's awesome because it's just content. Like
I
the
do
guy-
like the carny fights. Like there was
Yeah.
the YouTubers that were fighting over a girl, and the guy who came out and he was like, one of them was a boxer, like a professional boxer who was like 8-0, and the other guy was like, I don't know who is this guy, Nick? What was his name? He was like I don't know, he's famous.
Yeah, full disclosure, until Jake Paul came out, we had the
Oh, you didn't watch it.
laptop on mute and we had the actual UFC on.
But
like,
he
the
was
full
like
screen,
punching
so-
like this. He's like, I was like, what? This I couldn't. It was like a car wreck. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That was the whole night. But yeah, I did think Jake Paul was gonna win just because he takes it so seriously. And I really do think he would have a chance against a legitimate boxer too. He's a big kid, and they're an athletic family. Like Logan Paul was legitimately a Division I wrestler. I think they both like were in the OHSAA state championships every year. They're legit at like sports. So I think that's the next thing. But I can't even really. I saw the tweet that kind of just like summarized my thoughts and feelings about the whole thing. Like I can't even hate these meme fights, because it made $65 million. Like if
Right.
I was in that position, I would probably do the same exact thing.
Heck yeah! All right, big play reflog fights.
Yeah. Nick
Love
Padone 12 versus who?
It'll basically be a replacement for bum fighting.
All right, good tweet. Worst tweet of the week, Chris. What do we have?
From Rap Sheet, the Browns have released defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson, who is due more than $12 million this year. Essentially, Jadeveon Clowney's salary replaced Richardson. It's sad to see him go, and just that announcement kind of was rough. But we hold out hope here on the show, right, gentlemen, that
That's
he's going to
right.
come back. He's going to play for us this season, and we're going to get him on the cheap. So this could end up being a worst to first as far as the tweet goes, if this does come back around and we get him on the cheap and
And
plays and is productive for us.
the wording of that tweet sucks too. Just for the record, he didn't replace his salary. Jadeveon Clowney is making like $3 million this season. It's like a $10 million difference, Rap Sheet. Pull up the calculator app.
Yeah, and
Heyo.
Clowney's paid what is it? $8 mil is the base.
Yeah,
And then
with
the rest
with
of it's all incentives.
Yeah.
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 And there was a big signing bonus, which is just pretty much here you go, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What's cap space?
Right.
Right, exactly. And that's Jimmy's money. We don't worry about Jimmy's
Yeah.
money.
Heck no.
So, in any case, Rap, you get it.
Yep.
Congratulations.
That's right. Nick, take us out, my man.
Definitely. What a crazy hour. Went over. Jake Paul fight. Talked about that. Best and worst tweets. Sheldon Richardson. Will he come back? Awesome talk with Mutt Guru, Mike McFadden. If you missed that, check us out. Big Play Reflog, Apple Pods, Spotify. Huge thanks to our guys over at Shaq News. Check them out. ShaqNews.com. Next Monday night, we get ready. NFL Draft Week will be here, boys. Can't believe it. See you guys then. Thank you guys all so much for the comments. We'll see you next Monday.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb.